What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning into another video. I so much appreciate it. Um, I know what it was that brought you in here. Obviously, it's the aroma, the smell. You can smell your favorite food in the air. You like your nose travel to it. I've been here prepping, all week. So if you watched the Live to Suffer video, if you haven't, I would recommend that you do so. I think that um, you will gain a good perspective on the natural things about life that we all have to do at some point. Is suffer. So just pay attention to it. Um, I believe that honestly, we gotta be honest with each other because we're family. So you're in here, you know, in the restaurant waiting on me to bring you your food, obviously, and with that thought in mind, you gotta go check it out. So stop this, check out To Live to Suffer, then come back here and watch this one. Because this one is life is about people. It's very important for us to begin to understand how um, life is people. It it's no other way around it. Regardless how much people promote that you will have to be by yourself, that is a season that someone has to go through, you know, being by yourself, being isolated, being away from people, walking a certain path. And during that path, that's when you would want to seek out your creator, your maker, regardless to whatever it is you want to serve. Every human being should want to seek out who it is that made them, and your purpose for being put here. I think that's a very important thing that we have to understand. And that's why life is people, because even myself can say that it took a person to open this type of mindset up to me. So that's why life is people. So we're around here in this aroma, everyone's sitting down, we're gathering up. You know that there's a waitress or a waiter back there that's going to wait a table with a gentleman or a young lady or someone of a stature, or it could be someone of no stature. It could be someone who's a photographer or a painter or a certain connection that one can gain off of just meeting a person. I can say for myself that being in the right apartment at the right time made it possible for a years spans to go by, and then finally something happens from a connection with a person. Life is about people, and in understanding that life is about people, we have to begin to understand the real concept is that everything that exists now has always existed. It's just that we are at the point where you're at that apex, because there's never been a time in human history where, as I tell my friends as jokes when we laugh about it, there's never been a time in human history where at my fingers I can literally order up me some lobster and a side salad, some Moet, and I could have it here in under an hour. So, we just at that apex of where it's never been there, where you can video talk, where I have friends that are in the military and we're video talking, to each other. It's just never been a time like this before. So that's proving more how life is people. You even hear the successful people are the people that gain some success somewhere. They'd be like, I met this person here, or I bumped into them, or I was out here at this right time and this person bumped into me, and if that would have never happened, then you would have never heard of me, or something like that. Or maybe you would have heard of me, but not as fast, or I wasn't in the direction of my life. This is that person's telling you the same story. That's one thing that how life is people, because that's how people gain healing, is by someone else being through similar circumstance and being able to, come out and tell you this. And in doing so, that is giving, you some kind of peace or some kind of closure, some way to move on in a better direction within your life, with trying to have some understanding about why something happened to you. Because that's the main thing that happens. We always sit up and we wonder about, why did this happen to me? Why can I have it this way or that way? Because I don't want to just use particular things. Some people say material. Why wasn't I born a rich person? Why my family didn't have this? Why my family didn't have that? And life is about people. And then you begin to understand that regardless of whether you have or don't have, it still can be something that is horrible. Life is always about people. I'm going to keep on continuing to say that, because I think it's very important in this time right now. Because if life's about people, we have to understand that genetically, that scientists, not now, but from back into the dark ages, the ones that are held it, because see, me as a writer, I have written reports about the history of medicine for some college kid who will pay me $1,000. If it's his finals or something, it could be more depending on the word count and what needs to be talked about. I will look those certain things up, because they learn it in the book. It's just a summary, if you're writing it up and you're giving a saying about how medicine started from back here and back there. There's been several of surgeons and stuff from back in the day who wrote them down. The other about successful heart surgery, that's the African American man. I think he's from Alabama. Now, he was the first successful heart surgeon. But I don't really, like as in surgeries and all that stuff, who knows who was successful, who knows not, but they have certain medicines, a certain way to insert this. A certain doctor came up with that in the medieval times, and so on and so on. So it's like, we have to begin to have an understanding about where we're at now, with men being biologically a man if you're born this way, and then biologically, if you're a woman, then you're born this way. And we both know that that is how it's supposed to work, because if the man enters a certain way, then a baby's produced. Now, I'm saying it that way, everyone, because, we can't, I don't want to get flagged. I don't want them to, you say the wrong thing. So, we understand what I'm leading to. And it's very important when you say life is about people, you have to understand that there is a gender and that there is a gender role. It's been proven over time. We know that human beings are similar to certain animals that walk like us. We know that we're not animal at all, regardless of what they say about monkeys and all that. We know that we're not, never been no monkeys. I hope that all of us know that we never been no monkeys, that we did not evolve that way at all, that the planets do exist. Like, if you don't believe that, like, you need to go to some observatory somewhere, look up the nearest one to you so they can show you that they exist. They truly exist. And the earth is not flat. So some people think it's flat. It's not. The Amazon owner just went to the edge of the Earth's atmosphere thing. So trust me. Just think about those things. I think it's very important to begin to understand that, because they're now going to make it at some point in our lifetimes where it's going to be undecided on gender. That gender will be whatever the person feels like, as we're leading into now. I feel like I'm this, so I am this. although biology says that I'm that, I'm this. But naturally, at the end of the day, not bashing anyone for feeling how they feel, because they'll say that's bashing. I don't want to get canceled because I'm not trying to go against what someone says about what they want to do with their life, because that's typically not what I am for, because I believe that life is about people. I believe that one thing about this whole realm, that is a void that is not flat, that everything's been put here for a reason, that every thought in your mind and everything and how it goes is here, all here for a reason. It is your prerogative on how you go about it, your life. But at the end of the day, in being shallow minded about a person's color, and being shallow minded about a person and how they decide to live their life, then you're not living life about people, because then I can ruin my chances of meeting a great person by my mindset being ruined by how someone chooses how to live their life, which makes them overall happy, at the end of the day. And that's what it's all about, is more or less people moving about life being happy. That people, in the moments, because back into live to suffer, we understand that we're going to suffer, regardless to how much we want to sit around and act as if it is doom and gloom for me to say that. But regardless, whether it's doom and gloom, understand that you will suffer. I know people that have so much money they don't know what to do with it, and they have things that make them suffer. So if that is possible for them, and having money and having finances and resources and able to jump on a plane and go here and there, because I've done those same particular things, because in order to hang in those circles, you have to, bring something of value to the group, or be able to put your own self in the group. But how does that happen in the first place? It goes back again to the connection, because life is people. People is life. It's something that you can't avoid. As I said, you have to learn how to weigh these things out. You can't sit in the same spot for so long. I know that you would think that people don't do that, but there's a lot of people that hunker down in a certain way and they stay that way, which is not a bad or good thing. Because as I'm speaking about how life is people, we got to understand that as there's different genders, and as we know there's gender roles, as we know that men are builders, that men go out and do the hard work, then we know that women are beautiful. We know because they're more beautiful than a man can be. Like, I'm handsome, but I know that a woman is more beautiful than me because she has features, So it's like they're more beautiful. They are nesters, homemakers, nurturers. We know that is naturally in her DNA, regardless to whether she turns that off or not. We know that. It's just so much into understanding that after we get to that point, then we know that there's blue collar, and then there's white collar. We know that blue collar is just the common slang that we're giving it, but it's just always been from starting with the Egyptians, military and production in the field. That's blue collar work, and then we know that selling, having a whole bunch of people selling at the market your chicken and your pepper and salt and bread and all those different things, that you are the boss of that time. Like, all these things have always existed. And it's very important for us to begin to understand how important that is. And that's the one thing that we look at, as in why I named the video Gumbos, because food is a way that people have always come together. Because once you say, come over here and eat for dinner, or let's eat over here at this restaurant for dinner, that in doing so, then those are when discussions can happen. It could be the passionate kicking the what discussion. It could be a enlightening discussion. It could be a family discussion that needed to happen over so long. There's many people that have memories of our big mothers, which I have, which is on my arm, and our grandmothers, who that is many a times how we were able to have some of the memories. That is how I'm able to serve some of the recipes that you were smelling in your nose that brought you here. I would hope that you would share, the good food with other people so that they can subscribe to the channel, because we're going to go further. But, also with food, we know that the football game is always on the television. Shout out to my people all around who, with the brain trust on things. Football season starting, so I'll be talking about football. We'll be talking about life. We'll be talking about all kind of different things. I have a lot of things lined up. So to wrap everything up, we know that working class existed. We know that higher class existed. We know that a hierarchy always existed. And as I keep telling people, we understand that privilege always existed, that colorism always existed. So what are these things? These things are very important. See, in my last video, we were talking about the club. Now, that's what I call it. I call it the club. See, there's a club. The music's jamming. It's the song that you are playing in your head right now that you're like, man, that song is jamming. You've been playing it 1,000 times in a row. That song is playing. You like, I got to get inside the club so I can jam to my song, because you in your freshest fit. You got your goals on. You got your platinum on. You got your rollie on. Your guest watch on. Whatever it is you got on, you feeling good about yourself. And you knowing that this club's exclusive. But there's people walking and they choosing people. Now when they start choosing people, that's when we put the colorism in. So that means you're choosing because of your color. You're choosing because of this, because this truly exists. We got to quit acting like this don't exist. So then you come in, you're choosing because life is people. You met the right person in life. Boom, they chose you out of line because that person got inside the club. They came out and got you, or they sent the guy, he was in the club, and said, hey man, my partner out there, our sis out there, get them in. So that's off of that, knowing someone, regardless to whatever it is they do, they have a stature. You got in the club because of that. Then you got the people who went and, they're pretty, they're beautiful. It could go for men and women, whatever the case you want to make about it. But you're choosing off of that. Then we can continue to go down that. The people before that, the pretty person, then the person who did that got chosen in, then the other person before that, they all chose someone in there. So there's other people going in. Okay, so you don't have all that, but you're still in your best. See, and understand that all these exist, some people say, okay, I'm not being recognized in this line. It's for some apparent reason that every person in this line is getting chosen but me. You know what? I'm going to leave out of this line, and I'm going to go out into whatever's not here at this club, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to make myself of the stature so that when I get back in my freshest, when I'm that woman or man, that once I'm back in that line, they're going to recognize who I am, because life's about people. You could have been the person who was talking on the internet. I recognize you. I watched the show a couple times. I like it. I watched this. I watched that. You never know. And it's just something that we have to get more back to, because you will not knock on your neighbor's door and ask for sugar. I come from that. I remember my mama being like, hey, you want to make some Kool-Aid? We ain't got no sugar. I ain't getting out the bed. So go over there and ask Miss Jewel, can you have sugar? We can't even do that no more. So we got to get back to where life is about people. I appreciate you for tuning into another video. I got more things coming with the football season starting. So all my people who are going that stay out in the West Coast and all the other places that allow the gambling, I'm definitely going to tell you what I think, because I know y'all care about it, because we're going to get into it. So thank you very much. Please like, subscribe, share with someone. The goal is 1,000 subscribers. Once we get there, we'll be able to do a whole bunch of stuff that you wouldn't imagine that we could be doing. You just got to get me to 1,000. So please like, share, and thank you. Remember, life is about people. See you later, and I'm out.